Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED official podcast. Aaron is back, everyone. Hey, Aaron.
Hello.
In a recent email to mail carrier, Aaron told me about the recent Halloween party he held at his school. As I was reading through it, I thought, well, why don't we just have him on the pod to tell everyone? Many of you out there either have to organize or participate in special events at your school, and sometimes it can be hard to think of good ideas not only on what to do, but how to do it. So today, let's hear from Aaron both how this Halloween event went, but also his approach to other school events as well. So first, give us the general agenda for your Halloween event this year.
Okay. So this was our first time to do a Halloween event. Usually we have done stuff during lesson time, really short, but wanted to do something extra special this year. So we planned it on a non-school day on the weekend, and we had two groups. We had a kindergarten group and an elementary group, and each one was about 2 hours long. So kindergarten, we had an event going from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then the elementary group from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And just the quick agenda was just starting at the start time, sharp 1 o'clock, doing a very quick greeting to the students and doing pretty much just bare minimum explanation. So we have enough time for all the activities. And this first activity was trick or treating. We set up different tables throughout our playground that the kids would go to do trick or treating, but with a little English flavor. There would be an English question that they would have to answer at the table. So they'd answer that question. They also had a stamp card to get a stamp from that table, and then get some candy. We did that it was about 35, 40 minutes before calling them together. And then about 1:45, 1:50, moved them up to the hall for our next set of activities. We had different games and activities set up in our big hall. Some of them were just having fun. It was like throwing a ring onto a witch's hat, shooting some monsters. We also gave them opportunity to decorate their bags. We had just these plain orange bags that we handed out to them. So at the end, they could draw jack-o'-lantern faces on it. They could also exchange candy with either teachers or friends. And of course, it's Halloween, so we had a haunted house as well. And then our last 30 minutes, so we would do that until about 2:30. The last 30 minutes, we went back outside where we told the parents to come wait for us to pick them up at this time. But we allowed them to stay at the kindergarten for about 30 minutes more to take pictures with their friends. We had decorations everywhere. We had a photo booth set up, and they can take pictures with their friends and also with the teachers. We were around there and just have a fun atmosphere. And then that would finish at 3 o'clock. We had an hour to clean up, set up for the next group at elementary. And then it was pretty much just the same thing.
What does a haunted house for kindergarten students entail?
Yeah, haunted house is maybe not the most accurate thing. It was maybe more close to a monster room. My vision was to just go full out. Wanted to make some big cardboard walls, a maze, and have some really fun with that. But reality sets in. That would be a bit too much work. So we did something simple. We made a small little house, and we had one of the teachers just put a mask on. The room was really dark, and we blocked out all the windows, so very little light came in. And the monster would ask them for something. We had some like fake fruit over on a ground nearby, and the monster would say, "Give me a pumpkin," and they would have to give him the pumpkin, and then the monster would give them a token, which they could exchange for some candy. I saw it, and it was actually pretty scary. The kindergarten students actually did better than the elementary students.
Oh, interesting.
It was much darker during the elementary time.
Ah, there it is. There's the kicker. But beyond planning for monsters, when you started planning for this event in general, did you have any specific goals or targets, or was it more just about having fun?
Yeah, so that's a really important thing we do plan about at the very start of our event is what are our goals of the event. That way we can better direct our choices when planning everything. And then when we do finish everything, we can have a better reflection, a more focused reflection about how well did we do? How did we accomplish our goals? And for this one, which we like it, we think it's totally acceptable, and yeah, it was mostly for fun. But I guess not just for fun. We also really wanted to give them the feeling of an authentic Halloween event that we had been doing a little bit during lesson time, but we couldn't sacrifice that much lesson time, and never got the feeling like this was like really like American Halloween. When I think about my childhood, I think about dressing up in a fun costume, exploring with my friends, getting lots and lots of candy, and just overall having a really fun time. And wanted to give that experience to the kids. So kind of those two things. It was about fun, but also giving that authentic Halloween feeling.
Yeah, this isn't GrapeSEED lesson time, so it doesn't necessarily all have to be about language acquisition 100%. We can also have fun and do some cultural exchange there too. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
that was kind of the goal for the Halloween event there.
Yeah, definitely. And just because that is the main goal, it doesn't mean that we're just ignoring English. It still was our GrapeSEED event. And so we still wanted to, that's why we put in the English questions during trick or treating, or the monster would speak English to them. That's because it was still a GrapeSEED event, but we weren't going to hold back some activities like just shooting monsters. There's not much English into there. But we weren't going to scrap something just because it didn't fit. Oh, this is all about English learning. The main goal was about having just a fun Halloween time.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.